From First Commonwealth Bank Field, it is Heritage Conference Media Day, and we're with the Homer Center baseball team and their coach, Scott Bauer. To my far right, Nate Birchall, second baseman, and as we said with all of the other interviews, Scott, everybody plays every position when you're in high school baseball. Braden Dunn to my left, and Noah Turk on my far left. Let's start with the coach. 17-6 last year, 12-4 in the Heritage Conference. You went to the District 6 semifinals where you lost to West Branch. It was a heck of a good season, and I know that these guys are going to benefit from that experience this year.
Yeah, we had a good run. We had some goals when we set out on our mission last year, and the guys paid attention to detail, and they stayed focused one game at a time, and we had a really nice season last year. It didn't end how we wanted it to, but that experience that we got last year will be invaluable for this year's team.
We saw a lot of those baseball games right here at First Commonwealth Bank Field, and they were close baseball games. And when you have close baseball games like that, guys sort of learn a little bit about how to win ball games.
Yeah, that's important. One of the things we talked about this week is finishing the drill, finish the at-bat, finish the running to the base, just finish. So get yourself in a position to get to the finish line, and then we just got to find a way to finish the games and get those last three outs and be on the positive side of the scoreboard.
A lot of the guys who played a lot of baseball for you over the years have gone on now, and you get to incorporate some other fellas into the lineup that don't have that kind of experience. You do have very experienced fellas with us here this morning, but incorporating younger guys and making them a part of this team, that's a really important bringing together, and these guys will play a role in that development.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the things that brings me back every year. I enjoy baseball. The journey, the bringing new players in and teaching them the Wildcat way, as we call it, and just watching the process develop every year. It's a lot of fun. Our journey, began Monday, and I'm excited for these boys. But we did talk to, especially these three and some of the others, that we did have some big leadership roles vacated by some of our seniors, and that happens every year. And somebody needs to step up into those roles. So we're trying to develop those leadership skills for these players, and I think it'll benefit them for baseball and for future endeavors in life.
With only a week's worth of practice underneath you as a team, and with the weather not really cooperative and your chance to get outside and actually play so limited, next week's going to be a whole lot better. What have you learned in the short time together about this ball club?
Athletic. I think when we got on the field a little bit on Tuesday, and we were just kind of throwing the ball around the infield, and we're looking around at just some of the kids, how they've grown. That's one nice thing about being here, is you watch these kids grow up, and they're growing into young men, and they're faster, they're stronger, their throws are crisper. We just, as coaches, when we were done, we got a lot of athletes. We're very athletic in our opinion, so I think that it can help us out in the long run. We get a lot of guys with some position flexibility, and like you said, at single A, you got to be able to play a lot of positions.
Well, we're going to talk to these fellows now. I'll ask you if you'll switch seats there with Nate, and we'll turn to Braden Dunn, who I know your senior year at Homer Center sort of got cut short. You missed the basketball season because of some injuries suffered in the fall, but you're coming back. Is everything good to go for you this year?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm really excited for this upcoming baseball season. We've been working hard during the winter, open gyms, winter workouts after school in the weight room. And I've just gotten to know a lot of these younger guys that are coming up, and they seem really well banded together. And I think we can really work off that and hopefully make a deep run into districts and maybe even states this year. So.
With last year's ball club, and we mentioned how many games we saw, and you guys were like the comeback kids for a lot of those ball games, and you were right in there. There seemed that every time there was a key hit needed, there was Braden Dunn at the plate, and usually came through. That has to feel good, but it also provides the kind of leadership that the younger guys are going to need.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anytime I would go up in one of those situations, it was always just do my job, come up big for the team and hopefully pick my teammates up with it. But I wasn't looking to do too much, just kind of do what I needed to do and, get us that win that we really needed. So.
With the injuries that you have had here in your senior year, have you gotten in the kind of work in the off season that you would have liked to?
I mean, I haven't gotten the work that I would like to have gotten, but I definitely did kind of get stronger. I definitely strengthened my legs a little bit more, and I've just kind of worked at, kind of picking away at the skills that I need to, bring to the team this season. So I'll be ready to help the team whenever they need me.
One of the things that you can do in a winter season is you can get into a batting cage and you can swing a lot. It's more difficult to get out into the field and work with the glove a little bit. How have you approached that?
I've definitely taken a lot of swings. My little brother plays for Diamond Academy up in Indiana, and every time he would have a weekend practice, I would go up and take some swings in a cage that was open and kind of get those extra swings in that I needed. And I mean, fielding was the same way. Whenever they weren't using the turf in there, I would get on the turf with my dad, and he would roll me ground balls, and I would just work on my fielding skills there. So I mean, I was also limited with my knee, but I mean, I just kind of took it easy and focused on what I needed to focus on without injuring myself even more. So.
Wildcat baseball is a pretty special thing, and I know that you've got a grand tradition that you'd like to carry down the road with you. And for you, the senior year, I know it has to be pretty exciting, especially after you missed the basketball season. And probably getting the chance to compete again is a pretty special thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Watching my older brother play for this Wildcat baseball team and winning a district title with them back in 2018, I would just like to replicate that with my friends and buddies that I've played with since I was 6-7 years old. So I mean, it would definitely be really special to win Heritage, win district, and maybe even go deep in the state final. So I mean, I'm ready for it.
Good luck in your senior year.
Thank you.
Let's maybe you could switch seats there with Noah, and we'll turn and we'll talk to Nate. Nate Birchall, playing that middle infield, of course, is that's a challenge. Making that pivot at second base, especially. Tell me about that in the off season. How quickly, as you get ready for spring drills, how quickly does that footwork come back around?
Well, it doesn't come quick. You gotta really work for it. You gotta keep grinding throughout the winter months and just try to keep your speed and agility up so you're ready for the springtime. Well, it's snowing now, but whenever that time comes, our first game's right around the corner. So you just got to grind all winter, and that's what I've been trying to do.
We talk about the footwork at second base, but the footwork has to work in conjunction with the glove. Coaches, of course, are going to help you to make those sorts of things, the transition ball to glove or glove to ball and over to first. Tell me about working with your coaches and how they've helped you develop as a second baseman.
They've helped extremely. I had never played second base until I started up here my 10th grade year, and it was a complete switch for me, so everything was new. I was always used to the corners, so it was a big switch for me, and they've helped tremendously just working with just catching the ball different, getting faster hands, all of that, what you need, the essentials for second base and the middle infield.
Step to the plate with me. Put a bat in your hands. Strengths, weaknesses. The coach is over there. He's smiling. He says, don't tell anybody. Tell me about you at the plate. What are some of the things that you'd like to do?
I like to be loose. Like, even in the really chaotic finishes we had last year, the biggest thing for me was just stay loose. And if it's intense, you just got to take a minute, breathe, step out of the box if you need to, and focus, get your signs, do your job, and it helped tremendously.
Putting the ball in play is a really important aspect.
It definitely is. The many times we had, it was even just little ground balls, weak ground balls, and that helped us win the game. And just by bringing the run home, it was the small ball. It really, that's what I take a big part in it.
I'm sure that you have great dreams and hopes for this senior year here for the Homer Center Wildcats. It's a good group of guys to work with. You're looking forward to it?
Definitely. I've been playing with these guys since I can remember, since I started Little League, and to finish it with them is it's great.
Have a great senior year.
Thank you.
All right, let's turn back in the other direction, and there we find Noah Turk, actually one of the guys that is going to take the ball on the mound and climb on top of the hill for the Homer Center Wildcats, play some first base as well. You're another guy that we saw in the middle of the action last year, and Coach has a way of using his lineup, and we didn't talk about that with him, but I can talk about it with you. It must be pretty good to know that you've got a coaching staff that has been through all of this before, and that's some pretty good leadership.
Oh yeah, definitely. The biggest thing they've taught me is just belief, to believe in myself and to believe in my teammates. That's helped me, especially when pitching, when I'm on the mound and I can put faith in my team that they'll make the play behind me. Just really helps me to throw strikes and do my job.
Tell me about that. Setting up these hitters in the Heritage Conference, you got good sticks no matter who you're playing, and you really have to bear down. There's really not a lot of margin for error in this conference.
Yeah, no, I like to set up first. I always have to get the first pitch as a strike. That's my main goal. I'm not a guy who focuses on velocity. I don't try to blow the ball past them, but I do like to work on movement with the ball. So I'm just trying to make them miss, maybe throw a couple pitches for them to chase at, but my main goal is to just not walk anybody and get that first strike.
When you have a bat in your hands, you have the opportunity to put some offense up for the Wildcats. You got guys that are going to set the table in front of you too. You've got some good sticks, and people who get on base, and moving them along is a really important part of any batter's job, isn't it?
Yeah, no. So despite my size, I'm not the strongest hitter on the team, but I like to just put the ball in play, do my job. Surprisingly, I bunt a lot. That was my main thing last year. I remember up at Kiski or McCourt, I can't remember, bases were loaded, bunted it and run, ended up coming in big for us. But I just like to make sure to do my job, advance the runner. I don't really care if I'm safe or out as long as I'm helping the team win or advancing the runner, like I said.
One of the things that we do when we think about reaching a senior year is we look back on the player that we once were and the development that we've had, the coaches that have helped you to do that, the teammates you've been playing baseball with for a long, long time. Tell me about you as a freshman baseball player versus you coming into your senior year. How different are you as a ball player?
I could barely recognize myself as a freshman. I wasn't the best. I struggled with confidence a little bit, and just putting in the work every day really helped make myself better, especially for pitching. I started off throwing maybe 58, 60 miles per hour, and last year I topped out at maybe 78, 79, I'm not sure. But just to see myself advance along the way, it's just been a really cool sight to see, and I really know that the hard work I've been putting in has been paying off.
A lot of winning baseball last year, a lot of winning baseball for the 3 years prior to this. And here you come for your final season of Homer Center baseball. That winning sort of builds a tradition, and there's a long tradition of it here at Homer Center High School. Must feel pretty good to be a part of that.
Oh, yeah, that's great. This year, our goal, we just want to take it one game at a time. As long as we're winning the games that we have coming up, we don't care about our future. We just need to focus on the games we have right now and just live in the moment.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.
It is Homer Center High School, from which we come to you, actually, the home field of the Homer Center Wildcats, First Commonwealth Bank Field. It's Media Day and the Heritage Conference on Renda Digital TV.